Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you all. And welcome back to Beta Plan playing Shadowrun. So, we got some money. We sold the Simpsons chip to the tech vendor in the district who is also from Whampoa. Why that is important, I will come back to that in a moment. And we gained the money from the mission. So, we spent a little of that in order to give us the heal spell. In order, well, to not rely only on Gobbet for magical healing. Having said that, that is all that we spent. We are, well, keeping a little bit of Nugent in our pocket so that we can, well, buy later some souped up cyberware for our cyber mage and, of course, better gear and what have you not. But we had, and we also found more people that are having bad dreams about the corridor and a creature with an ivory crown. Some going into an alleyway, some turning away from the corridor, some walking down it. But it is time for a new mission. And seeing we hadn't used Rector last time, I really want to use him this time. And therefore I say we're going to the Whampoa Garden and discover who's killing the Whampoa elders. So yes, that's why I talked with the tech guy, but his information was quite little. Regardless of that, we're still going in. I want to take Isnobel because the Whampoa are supposedly some tech-savvy squatters. And that means that I really want to have tech people with me. A decker, a rigger, and seeing that we now can do the magical healing, we're also going to take Duncan for the maximum firepower. After all, this is a killer on the loose here. And Gobbet, well, despite being practically useful, I think we'll take her with the other mission. So, and who is then going to go out, I don't know yet. But this seems like a, well, proper setup. So, Whampoa Garden. A carnival of chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Whampoan elders, the leaders of the band of tech-savvy squatters, that have claimed this neighborhood as their own. Well, there you go, tech-savvy squatters. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Whampoans you pass in the NTR station have a haunted, a furtive look in their eyes. While the killer has struck only at elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. Alrighty then. So, let's see what we can do. We have a cyber mage, a decker, and a rigger. We should have enough coverage of technological wear to understand these guys. The streets of Whampoa Garden are slick with rain, glittering under the neon glow of a myriad of signs and holographic displays. The skies reflect the same glow, painting the wall. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks the sickly orange of sodium streetlights. The smell of grilling meat mingles with other rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of street vendors and touts, urging people into their stores. I thought tout was a synonym for guide though, not for... Oh, you learn something every new. Apparently you can also have that for street vendors. Isnobel wrinkles her nose, scowling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feelings I had when I lived here. Yoza! It's good that we took her along, because I thought she was from Kowloon City. Anyways, not that I know of. Isabel sighs heavily. This place seemed like heaven after the walled city. Ah, so that's how it is. Okay. Like the whole world had unfurled in front of me. And anywhere I turned, there was the promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as crappy as everywhere else. Everyone was still in it for themselves. If my own life in the barns taught me anything, is that if you can't find people worth sticking with, they'll save your life. You live for each other, watch each other's back. Duncan shrugs. That's about as deep as it gets for me. Perhaps then, that is enough. If it works for you, good. Isabel turns towards you and points down the street to your left. We're looking for the Whampoa elders. They're gonna be in the Whampoa itself. That's the big ship down the street. That's the mole shaped like a boat, right? Isabel nods, lips purse. That's the one. Nobody thought it thought. Sorry. That's the one. Somebody thought it would be clever to make a uniquely shaped mole. I thought at first read that nobody else had come up with the idea. I heard he's just dead. He's been all cut up. What? The elders don't want anyone to go inside without their permission. It must be pretty bad in there. Where? Wait, what? Let's walk around the street first. After all, if there are vendors over here, perhaps we can get some unique gear over here. You better find some place to sleep. You better find some place indoors to sleep, Jan. The streets are dangerous lately. That man looks like he has a unique model, but we currently can't talk to him. And also, this guy seems out of sorts. Well, guess we first have to go inside. Alright, the Whampoa. Doors closed. No, not closed. Hold on. Can we sneak something out of here? Not that we can see. Alright, well, let's talk to the folks over here. Because that is apparently where we have our main quest. What is this person's name? Ng? How do you pronounce this? NG? New generation? This orc woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny TRID screens, and speakers. The TRID screens display snippets of TRID broadcast from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoint with a source of voices, speaking Spiritual, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Spiritual, for people who don't know the setting, is a language of the elves. Punjabi, well, Punjab lies in India, and Kazakh is a region within the former USSR, or in I think that's probably Kazakhstan now. It was formerly a horde also. In EU4 this starts as a horde. I think it's now Kazakhstan. But interesting enough, all these languages do not lie even remotely close to Hong Kong. Her expression is, or the languages correspond to regions that do not rely remotely close to Hong Kong. Her expression is haggard, and she fidgets with her finger as you approach. Welcome. Welcome to Whampoa, my friend. I am Elder New Generation, and these are the elders Tang and IP. Okay, IP I understand, but what is... I'm just gonna call her New Generation, because N is not pronounceable for me. New Generation gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads respectively. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We had nowhere else to turn. As long as you can pay, I can help. Under Tang's skin, glowing tattoos writ and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move on to dragons. We're under threat, one by one. We elders are being hunted by some monster. You may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Ah, so that's what they were talking about outside, alright. IP crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over the servers, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, servo pressure, and a variety of other minutiae. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. He looks past you, towards Isabel. The prodigal daughter returns once more. I didn't expect to see you back aboard the Whampoa in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yatunde was very put out. By the way, he doesn't really look like an elder. He looks pretty young to me. I'm glad you're still alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed. But I still understood why you had to leave. IP pauses, tasting the air as he chooses his next words carefully. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you places though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later, she places a hand on her pistol, eyes on the IP's shoes. I don't cart this around for fun, IP. The lessons kept me alive. There's history over here. That is clear as I'm not sure how the idiom goes. Crystal clear. Let's just say it's crystal clear. Isabel blinks several times and looks up at New Generation, her expression clouded. Where is Jachun anyway? I expected her to be here. There are killings going around, Isabel. Come on, think. New Generation shakes her head sadly. She reaches out a hand towards Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She is dead. So are Guan and Nakamura. And Tang was killed just tonight. So much blood. You had to stop this from continuing. So, 4 Whampoa elders are dead. 3 left. Oh, that's quite a culling of the head of the Whampoa squatters. Isabel's expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow white as her hands ball up into fists. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. So apparently one elder is apparently the one that Isabel liked. Thank you, Isabel. New Generation lifts a hand, wiping away tears from her eyes. This seems pretty emotional. So, what happened to the tongue? The same thing that happened to the rest of the victims. Evisceration and dismemberment. Ouch! For people who don't notice, this evisceration is, let's just say that the guts were on display. And dismemberment is the removal of arms and legs and, well, the members of the body. We set a guard to keep people out of the shop, but he'll let you in. And sorry that I'm not using all kinds of different voices for all of them, or not very distinct ones, because, well, I'm trying to have my crew have special voices, but if I do that for everybody, I'm not going to have enough. And I'm meeting a lot of women, and I am, sorry, a guy, so it's kind of hard for me to do a female voice. When did he die? Sometime earlier tonight. He locked up his shop, but IP stopped by to ask him about skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and inside, New Generation lifts her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. Seeing New Generation's inability to continue, IP takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown, because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? That is Isabel's voice. Sorry. The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before, or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favors for local gangs and triads, handle their matrix security, flip up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too valuable of a resource for them to lose, so they protect us from the HKPF, or anyone else that decides we're an easy target. There's a death missing here. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the message via the matrix. The last time the HKPF made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the Trid. They got the picture and backed off. So, what can you tell me about the murders aside of the evisceration and dismemberment? They started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was Guan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. New Generation swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He had been torn apart, his head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Tang nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same, always at night, always dismemberment. Each scene is like a nightmare, and every time nobody has seen anything. It's like a ghost. So, have you made any enemies lately? New Generation shrugs helplessly. Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and deckers. Though you help criminals, I think that makes you accomplices, but alright. And even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whoever did this, or whatever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too, New Generation. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. Actually, it's quite an insightful remark here of Tang. So, what do the Whampoan elders do? These Nobels snorts derisively. They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of petty tyrants. That's what. You're being unfair, Isnabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. Tang turns to address you. We keep the Whampoa and its residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision, like a town council. Yeah, but a guiding vision is not a law that you can or not do them. Besides, we had a tough lady that also went our way, so I think it's more in line with our characters to say that rules are made to be broken. Huh. Elder IP laughs, quickly stifling it as New Generation and Tang gave him a dirty look. I can see why Isnobel is on your team. You and she are very much alike, I suspect. Alright, I didn't know Isnobel was that much of a rebel. I gave her perhaps a little too much of a timid voice, but I think the first line they said it was soft, so that's why I went with that. I'm the invoker of sprites. I commune with the spirits of the machines. I like the fact that they say your sprites and your spirits. Sprites are is a reference to 8-bit D&D type of graphics. Ask them for blessing and pass those blessings on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be, given our confines. I first read inhabitants, that's my mistake. She's a shaman, that's all. She just got some cookie spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Isnobel pats her deck, looking at New Generation. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck? It's mine. I build it. The only spirits it's got in it are the ESPs I loaded up with. New Generation gives Isnobel a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean that it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that. Bullshit. Isnobel glanced at you, jerking her thumb towards Tang. This guy treats drones like they're living things. Isnobel comes to me over as a little bit of a humanist and perhaps also of well, not so per se humanist, that doesn't really show out of this, but as well, an atheist. I wouldn't really say that when it comes to spirits and things, but someone that has a down-to-earth look on things, like I need to see the evidence before I believe it. Isn't that right? Tang extends his arms and palms up. As you watch the tattoos therein shift into a complex mathematical formula. Mathematical, I should take the time to pronounce things, but I'm kinda wanna hurry up because wow, this episode's already getting long. I am the first and glorious Servo, oh my lord, what a name. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed Autofab in my shop is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. Really? What a fascinating and spiritual spin on things. Rector inclines his head towards Tang. I'd be interested in hearing more about your philosophy. Once we're done with the job, I think I may find your perspective to be very interesting. As for me, I serve as the rust-blended voltage spike. IP smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. Yeah, thank you. That kind of. So wow, you combine your feng shui with the technological thingamajiggers that you guys use. Well, that's all for now. I've heard enough. It might be wise to ask the residents of Whampoa Garden if they've seen or heard anything after you've gone to Tong's Sensory Carnival. They may have seen or heard things we have not. Good to know. And you didn't ask and you don't have like it coming into you via your trid visors? We're going to look around here a little bit and we're going to continue with the mission. But we have had all the exposition we need in order to start this mission. And I want to keep my videos, still a little bit action-packed or sometimes, or, well, have them... man, I'm losing my words today. I am bad. English bad today? I want to keep them, if I have such an exposition video as this, I would like to give one exposition video, then an action video or something like that, as not to, well, constantly have only words come being flying at you and you just listen to my voice. So, expect some action in the next episode. I really hope so, at least. And in the meantime, I say thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.